to all the devotees. We're going to continue the reading of Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta. We are in Madhya-līlā, chapter 24, explanations of the Ātmārāma verse. Yaya Yaya Śrī Caitanya Yaya Nityananda Yaya Śrī Advaita Chandra Yaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Śrī Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jai Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu ki Jai. Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta ki Jai. Jai Sri Guru Gauranga Radha Girija Sri Guru Gauranga Sundar Radha Giridhar ki
Jai.
And we have been we started with Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu is instructing Srila Sanatana Goswami, and he's telling us a story about a hunter, the meeting with the hunter and Narada Muni. And just to recap, I just read briefly, briefly about what we were reading yesterday. It says, Narada Muni saw that a deer was lying on the path through the forest and that it was pierced by an arrow. It had broken legs and was twisting due to much pain. Farther ahead, Narada Muni saw a boar pierced by an arrow. Its legs were also broken and it was twisting in pain. When he went further, he saw a rabbit that was also suffering. Narada Muni was greatly pained at heart to see living entities suffering so. When Narada Muni advanced further, he saw a hunter behind a tree. This hunter was holding arrows and he was ready to kill more animals. The hunter's body was blackish. He had reddish eyes and he appeared fierce. It was as if the superintendent of death, Maharaj, was standing there with bows and arrows in his hands. When Narada left the forest path and went to the hunter, all the animals immediately saw him and fled. When all the animals fled, the hunter wanted to chastise Narada with abusive language. But due to Narada's presence, he could not utter anything abusive. So Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu is trying to illustrate with this story the importance of sadhu sangha, or the association with a pure Vaishnava, pure devotee, like Narada Muni in this case. And we are just going to continue on here. Narada Muni is instructing the hunter. And we are going to continue on text 240. Or we can continue with 239. Jai Srila Gurudev ki Jai. Narada kohe pata buli ailana puchite mane eka samsaya haya taha kanda ite. Narada Muni replied, leaving the path, I have come to you to settle a doubt that is in my mind. Pate yesu kara mriga jani tomara haya vyadha kohe jaikaha seita nishchaya. I was wondering whether all the boars and other animals that are half killed belong to you. The hunter replied, yes, what you are saying is so. Narada kohe jadi jive mara tumivana ardamara kare kene nalao parana. Narada Muni then inquired, why did you not kill the animals completely? Why did you half kill them by piercing their bodies with arrows? Vyadha kohe suna gosai mrigari moranama pitara siksate ami kori aichikama. The hunter replied, my dear saintly person, my name is Mrigari, enemy of animals. My father taught me to kill them in that way. I think that we read this yesterday. Didn't we? But anyway, it's good to recap. Ādmārāma jiva jodi dat pada kore tabeta anandamore badaje antare. When I see half-killed animals suffer, I feel great pleasure. This is what the hunter is saying. Narada kohe eka vastu magi tomara stane vyadha kohe mrigadi lahajai tomara mane. Narada Muni then told the hunter, I have one thing to beg of you. The hunter replied, "You may take whatever animals or anything else you could like. Mriga chole shaha jodi aisamora gore, jay shaha taha diva mriga vyagram bare. I have many skins if you would like them. I shall give you either a deer skin or a tiger skin." Narada kohe, "Iha ami kichu nahi chahi, ara ekadana ami, magi Thomas tani." Narada Muni said, "I do not want any of the skins. I am only asking one thing from you in charity." Kali haite tumi ye migade mariba, pratame mariba ada maragna kariba. I beg you that from this day on you will kill animals completely and not leave them half dead. Vyasa kohe kiba dana magila amare arda marile kiba haya taha kaha more. The hunter replied, "My dear sir, what are you asking of me? What is wrong with the animals lying there half killed? Will you please explain this to me?" Narada kohe arda marile jiva paya vyata jive duka di techa tomaran haive aicha vasta. Narada Muni replied, "If you leave the animals half dead, you are purposely giving them pain. Therefore you will have to suffer in retaliation. Narada Muni, Vyadha tumi jiva mara alpa aparadha tomara kadartana diyamara ei papa apara. Narada Muni continued, "My dear hunter, your business is killing animals. That is a slight offense on your part. But when you consciously give them unnecessary pain by leaving them half dead, you incur very great sins. Kadartiya tumi yata marila jivere, tara taiche toma marive janmantare." Narada Muni continued, "All the animals that you have killed and give unnecessary pain will kill you one after the other in your next life and in the life after life." Narada songe vyadera mana parasana haila tanra vakya sunimane vaya upajila. In this way, through the association of the great sage Narada Muni, the hunter was a little convinced of his sinful activity. He therefore became somewhat afraid due to his offenses. Vyadha kohe valya haiti eyamara karma kemane tarimu muni pamara adama. The hunter then admitted that he was convinced of his sinful activity, and he said, "I have been taught this business from my very childhood. Now I am wondering how I can become freed from these unlimited volumes of sinful activity." Ei papaya jaya mora kemane upaye nistara karahamora padon tomara paye. The hunter continued, "My dear sir, please tell me how I can be relieved from the reactions of my sinful life. Now I fully surrender unto you. I fall down at your lotus feet. Please deliver me from sinful reactions." Purport: by the grace of Narada Muni, the hunter came to his good senses and immediately surrendered unto the saint's lotus feet. This is the process. By associating with a saintly person, one is able to understand the reactions of his sinful life. When one voluntarily surrenders to a saintly person, who is a representative of Krishna and follows his instructions, one can become freed from sinful reactions. Krishna demands the surrender of a sinful man, and Krishna's representative gives the same instructions. The representative of Krishna never tells his disciples, "Surrender unto me." Rather, he says, "Surrender unto Krishna." If the disciple accepts this principle and surrenders himself through the representative of Krishna, his life is saved. Narada kohe, "Jadi dara amara vachana, tabe se karite pori tomara mochana. Narada Muni assured the hunter, if you listen to my instruction, I should find a way you can be liberated. Vyadha kohe jai kaha seita kariba. Narada kohe danuka vanga tabe se kahiba. The hunter then said, my dear sir, whatever you say I shall do. Narada immediately ordered him, first of all, break your bow. Then I shall tell you what is to be done. Purport. This is the process of initiation. The disciple must admit that he will no longer commit sinful activity, namely illicit sex, meat eating, gambling, and intoxication. He promises to execute the order of the spiritual master. Then the spiritual master takes care of him and elevates him to spiritual emancipation. Vyadha kohe danuka vangila bhartiva kemane. Narada kohe ami anna diva pratidine. The hunter replied, if I break my bow, how shall I maintain myself? Narada Muni replied, do not worry. I shall supply all your food every day. Purport. The source of our income is not actually the source of our maintenance. Every living being, from the great Brahma down to an insignificant ant, is being maintained by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Eko bahunam yo vidadati kaman. The one Supreme Being, Krishna, maintains everyone. Our so-called source of income is our own choice only. If I wish to be a hunter, it will appear that the hunting is the source of my income. If I become a Brahmana and completely depend on Krishna, I do not conduct a business, but nonetheless, my maintenance is supplied by Krishna. The hunter was disturbed about breaking his bow because he was worried about his income. Narada Muni assured the hunter because he knew that the hunter was not being maintained by the bow but by Krishna. Being the agent of Krishna, Narada Muni knew very well that the hunter would not suffer by breaking the bow. There was no doubt that Krishna would supply him food. Tanuka Vangi Vyadha Tandra Charane Padila Tare Uttanya Narada Upadesh Kaila. Being thus assured by the great sage Narada Muni, the hunter broke his bow, immediately fell down at the saint's lotus feet and fully surrendered. After this, Narada Muni raised him with his hand and gave him instruction for spiritual advancement. Purport. This is the process of initiation. The disciple must surrender to his spiritual master, the representative of Krishna. The spiritual master, being in the disciplic succession, stemming from Narada Muni, is in the same category with Narada Muni. A person can be relieved from his sinful activity if he surrenders to the lotus feet of a person who actually represents Narada Muni. Narada Muni gave instruction to the hunter after the hunter surrendered. Gore Gija Brahmane Deha Jata Ache Dana Eka Vastra Pori Bahira Hao Duijana. Narada Muni then advised the hunter, return home and distribute whatever riches you have to the pure Brahmanas who know the absolute truth. After distributing all your riches to the Brahmanas, both you and your wife should leave home, taking only one cloth to wear. Nadi tire eka kani kutira kariya, tara age eka pindi tulasi ropiya. Narada Muni continued, leave your home and go to the river. There you should construct a small cottage, and in front of the cottage you should grow a tulasi plant on a raised platform. Tulasi parikrama kore, tulasi sevana, Nirantara Krishna Nama Kariha Kirtana. After planting the tulasi tree before your house, you should daily circumambulate that tulasi plant, serve her by giving her water and other things, and continuously chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Purport. This is the beginning of a spiritual life. After living householder's life, one may go to a holy place, such as the banks of the Ganges or Yamuna, and erect a small cottage. A small cottage can be constructed without any expenditure. 4 logs serving as pillar can be secured by any man from the forest. The roof can be covered with leaves, and one can cleanse the inside. Thus one can live very peacefully. In any condition, any man can live in a small cottage, planted tulasi tree, water in the morning, offering its prayers, and continually chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Thus one can make vigorous spiritual advancement. This is not at all difficult. One simply has to follow the instructions of the spiritual master strictly. Then everything will be successful in due course of time. As far as eating is concerned, there is no problem. If Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, supplies everyone with eatables, why should he not supply his devotee? Sometimes a devotee will not even bother to construct a cottage. He will simply go to live in a mountain cave. One may live in a cave, in a cottage beside a river, in a palace, or in a big city like New York or London. In any case, a devotee can follow the instructions of his spiritual master and engage in devotional service by watering the tulasi plant and chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Taking the advice of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu and our spiritual master Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, one can go to any place of the world and instruct people to become devotees of the Lord by following the regulative principles, worshipping the tulasi plant, and continuously chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Amito maya bahu ana patai mudine se ana lave jata kaudu iyane. Narada Muni continued, I shall send sufficient food to you both every day. You can take as much food as you want. Purport. When a person takes to Krishna consciousness, there is no need to care for material necessities. Krishna says that he personally carries all the necessities to his devotees. Anajas chintayanto mam jejana parjupasate tesam nitya viyuktanam yoga kesam bahami aham. Those who worship me with love and devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack and preserve what they have. This is from Bhagavad Gita 9:22. Why should one be anxious about the necessities of life? The principle should be that one should not want more than what is absolutely necessary. Narada Muni advises the hunter to accept only what is absolutely necessary for him and his wife. The devotee should always be alert to consume only those things that he absolutely requires and not create unnecessary needs. Tabe se mrigaditine narada suksta kaila, susta hanya mrigaditine dhanya palaila. The 3 animals that were half killed were then brought to his consciousness by the sage Narada. Indeed, the animals got up and swiftly fled. Dekiya vyadera mane haila chamatkara goregela vyadha guruke kore namaskara. When the hunter saw the half-killed animals flee, he was certainly struck with wonder. He then offered his respectful obeisances to the sage Narada and returned home. Jata stane Narada gela vyadha gore aila Naradera upadesh sakala karila. After all this, Narada Muni went to his destination. After the hunter returned home, he exactly followed the instructions of his spiritual master Narada. purport for spiritual advancement, one must have a bona fide spiritual master and follow his instructions in order to be assured of advancement. Grame Dwani Haila Vyadha Vaishnava Haila Gramera Loka Sava Ana Anite Lagila. The news that the hunter had become a Vaishnava spread all over the village. Indeed, all the villagers brought alms and presented them to the Vaishnava, who was formerly a hunter. And then Ekadina Anna Anne Dasavisha Jane Dine Tata Laya Jata Kayadu Ijane. In one day, enough food was brought for 10 or 20 people, but the hunter and his wife would accept only as much as they could eat. So this is the end of that story of the hunter and Narada Muni, and the importance of the association of a pure Vaishnava can make incredible transformation in a normal person who is attached or is performing sinful activities. So this is a very beautiful example in this beautiful story. Jai Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta ki Jai, Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu ki Jai, Srila Srila Bhakti Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. And, oops. But of course, every situation is different for a disciple, so the instruction will be according to time, place, and circumstance. We also have to take that into account, that, it's not like in the story, it's just the Guru will give you an instruction according to the circumstances, the place, wherever you are at, what is your situation. So you just have to try to become a good recipient of the instructions, right? And try to follow his instructions, your Gurudev's instruction, and try to offer the service with as much as love and affection, and try to surrender to your Gurudev, right? Right, Anna Krishna?
Yeah, right. It's true.
So, anyway, try not to be independent. We are not independent, right? We are trying to follow in Srila Gurudev's, with Srila Gurudev's instructions, and follow his guidance, and try to follow in his service mood, so we can continue our life, and he will guide us in the right direction if we are doing that. Anyway, we can read a little bit also from actually his guidance, divine guidance of our Gurudev, which is quite relevant to what we were saying. We read a little bit from divine guidance, the divine guidance of Gurudev. And we were, you read a lot. Did you? Were you not in the Way to Vrindavan chapter?
Yeah, it's in the middle of the chapter.
Really? Because the chapter that is here, it says, utilizing our fortune. Yes, so we read on the way to Sri Puri Dham, and then you started reading on the way to Sri Vrindavan Dham. But the marker was not there, so I don't know where you were. Anyway, so shall we start again that chapter then?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so we are going to read from the divine guidance of Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev-Goswami Maharaj, which is quite relevant to what we were reading in Caitanya-caritāmṛta, accepting the instruction of Gurudev, surrendering to him and accepting his instruction and following his instructions. So we are going to read chapter 3, On the Way to Sri Vrindavan Dham. It's a lecture by His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev-Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. And then, when Mahaprabhu would hear the name of Vrindavan, he would become ecstatic in bhava, in prema, and would lose his senses in divine love. While describing his travels in Vrindavan, Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami said, I cannot even express his mood. When Mahaprabhu was in Puri Dham during the time of Lord Jagannath's Ratra Yatra, Swarup Damodar would sing and the Lord would dance in ecstasy. Mahaprabhu himself would not sing so much, but Swarup Damodar would sing and he would dance. One day, in one way, Vrindavan is a very difficult place. Whether going, living, moving around, or living there, everyone must be very careful. When Jagadananda Prabhu wanted to go to Vrindavan, Mahaprabhu gave him 4 instructions. Sigra asiha tahan na rahiha chirakala govardhane na cha diha dekite gopala. Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta Madhya-līlā 13.38. If you want to go to Vrindavan, you can go, but don't stay too long. Don't climb upon Govardhan Hill, even to see the Gopal deity there. And always stay with Rupa and Sanatan. Take their guidance and don't leave their association. These were 3 of his directives, and the 4th was don't imitate the Brajavasis. Jagadananda Prabhu was Mahaprabhu's good friend and is considered an incarnation of Satyabhama. He was extremely attached to Mahaprabhu and sometimes would show his affection in unusual ways. Mahaprabhu instructed him, don't imitate or intimately associate with the Brajavasis. Jagadananda Prabhu knew everything about the rules and regulations for living in the holy Dham, but Mahaprabhu showed himself as thinking he was not so qualified. He therefore gave some instructions. Jagadananda wants to go to Vrindavan alone, but I do not feel that is good. In this way, he checked him many times. Lastly, Jagadananda was very sad to see Mahaprabhu's renounced mood. He could not tolerate it, so he did not want to always stay with Mahaprabhu. Instead, he wanted to go to Vrindavan. At that time, Mahaprabhu gave these 4 directives to him and gave him permission to go. You can go, but do not stay for long, because everywhere there is some work of illusion. Maya. Maya covers everything in this mundane world. It may be Vrindavan, Navadvip, or Puri, but everywhere there is some covering of Maya. And if you stay too long in such places, you may be attracted by Maya's work, and so make some offense to the Dham. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says in his book Sri Navadvip Bhavataranga, Jada Maya Bhumi Yala Dravya Jata Ara. What we see in Navadvip Dham, that is all Jada, mundane. But actually, inside of that mundane form, when Maya will mercifully remove the cover, we will see the real form of the Dham. Even to see the outside of the Dham is beneficial. But if we make aparadh, offense, it is detrimental to our spiritual life. And if we cannot see properly the real transcendental Dham, at least we should try not to see the opposite thing, to see it as only mundane. When Mahaprabhu experienced Mahabhav for 7 days in Srivas Pandit's house, the different devotees saw him in different forms. Devotees of Ramachandra saw Mahaprabhu as Ramachandra. Devotees of Vishnu saw him as Vishnu. Others saw him in the form of Nrsimhadev, and yet others saw him as different incarnations of Vishnu. In that gathering, Mahaprabhu restricted Mukunda Prabhu, "I shall not give you darshan." Mukunda remained outside the house, weeping. Seeing him crying, the devotees reported to Mahaprabhu, "Mukunda is very sad and he wants to end his life by drowning in the river's Ganges. He does not want to maintain his body if he cannot see your form. He is continually crying outside." Mukunda sent a message with the devotees asking Mahaprabhu, "When shall I see your form?" Mahaprabhu answered, "After crores of births, he will be able to see me." Hearing this, Mukunda became very happy and began dancing outside the entrance. "Oh, after only crores of births, I will again see Mahaprabhu. Therefore, I have no problem. Crores of births I can tolerate to again have his darshan." Hearing that, Mahaprabhu was happy and said, Now he has already crossed those crores of births, and he can see me. Let the devotee see Mahaprabhu. He can come immediately, he said. So the devotees called Mukunda. "Oh Mukunda, come, Mahaprabhu is calling you." But Mukunda said, "Mahaprabhu said after crores of births. Then how can I go there now? If I go now, I will not be able to see the real form of Mahaprabhu. Only after crores of births I should be able to see, but not now. If I see him now, that will not be really seeing him. It will be illusion. So why shall I go there? I do not want to go there now. Real vision is necessary, and that is the main thing. Otherwise, seeing the deity, the Dham, or anything else is only an exercise of the eye. It is not actual vision, and we should not gain real benefit from that." But Mahaprabhu said, "Now his crores of birth have gone, and he can come to see me and see me." Mukunda very much chastised himself that he had done wrong, and so had caused Mahaprabhu to at first refuse him entrance. Mahaprabhu then showed his real form to him. The main thing is that without devotion and transcendental knowledge, we can neither see the real Vrindavan Dham, nor the real Nama, Rupa, Guna, and Lila, name, form, qualities, and pastimes of the Lord. All these are transcendental. Therefore, we cannot see them with our mundane eyes. That is the main thing. If we go to Vrindavan or stay in Navadvip, the same is true, but still these places are holy dhams and they emanate auspiciousness. In that way, we can touch the glow of that yoti, that effulgence. The dham is covered by illusion, but even so, there is some brilliance, and that glow or brilliance is of the Dham, may touch us if we stay there without offense. But if we stay there too long, we may become overly familiar, and then that glow may leave us. That glow is something like light, but this is more than that. It is the transcendental world, and it is fully conscious. And this can also happen if we are too close to the Gurudev and we start to see him that he's an ordinary person. So we have to always remember that. He's not from this world. He's our Gurudev, which is a representative of the Lord, of Lord Krishna, right? So he's not an ordinary person. It was for our instructions that Mahaprabhu advised Jagadananda, do not stay in Vrindavan for a long time, as there is more possibility of making offense. And do not go upon Govardhan hill, because this hill is a form of Krishna. In the scripture, it is mentioned that Govardhan has two forms. One is a servitor, and the other form is as Krishna himself, who accepts service from the devotees. So Mahaprabhu instructed Jagadananda, don't go upon Govardhan hill, And when you stay in Vrindavan, you must stay with Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami. Under their guidance, no problem will arise, and there will be less chance to make offense. If you stay with them, you will not make any offense there. Staying with Rupa Sanatan is also a great responsibility, but by my order, you can stay there securely and follow their guidance. So maybe this is a good place to stop here. And this is very, very clearly Srila Gurudev is giving some guidance on how and what is the right mood and vision to go to visit the holy Dham. Right? We have to try to develop the right mood, the right angle of vision, right, to be able to go to a holy Dham without making any offense, and be always under the guidance of your Gurudev, of a senior Vaishnava, have their blessings, their permission to go to the holy Dham. It is not, like Gurudev says, not an eye exercise. It's not for sightseeing. It's very special, transcendental plane. But we must develop the right vision, and we are covered. Our eyes are covered by our mundane vision, right? So it's very important. We're reading that divine guidance by our Gurudev Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev-Goswami Maharaj. And his guidance are in his books also. So we can just refer to them from time to time to remind us of Gurudev's guidance, of Gurudev's instructions, isn't it? We refer to the books, we refer to our senior devotees for reminding us of our Gurudev's and our guardians' instructions and how do we proceed in the right way. Right? Is that correct? Prabhu? Okay. Okay, so we can please sing Hari Haraya Nama Krishna for us.
Yeah.
Madhu Krishna, who is serving here in West London Mat.
Yeah.
She's from Venezuela. She's giving 2 years of her time to come and serve here. It's a good choice. It's a good decision, right? To serve Gurudev. This is Gurudev's home, so therefore you are here serving His Divine Grace, Srila Gurudev. Right? All right, so let's... Jai Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta ki jai, Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Swami Prabhu ki jai, Srila S.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Guru Gauranga Sundar Radha Giridhar ki jai. So page 60.
Hariharaya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha.
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 Yadavaya Madhavaya Kesavaya Namaha. Gopala Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudana.
Gopala Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudana.
Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohana.
Giridhari Gopinath
Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra.
Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra.
Kaladara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Rupa Sanatana Bhakta Raghunatha. Shri Jiva Gopala Bhakta Dasa Raghunatha. Jai Gosai Kori Charana Bandhana. vilasa. Ch.24 gosai jabe braje kola basa. Radha Krishna nitya lila korila prakasa. Anande bolo hari vaya Vrindavana. Shri Guru Vaishnava pade Madhya-līlā. Shri Guru Vaishnava pada Padma Koriyasa. Hari Nama Sankirtana Kovenaro Damodaso. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Jai Saparikara Shri Guru Gauranga Sundar Radha Giridhar Ji ki Jai Vinupad Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev-Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Vinupad Bhakti Rakapsiya Dev-Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Vinupad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki Jai. Shri Rupanuga Guru Varga ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Jai. Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta Madhya-līlā ki Jai. Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta Madhya-līlā London chapter ki Jai. Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta Madhya-līlā Vrindavan ki Jai. Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta ki Jai. Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur ki Jai. Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu ki Jai. Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. Shri Rupanuga Guru Varga ki Jai. Srila Bhakti Ranjan Madhusudan Maharaj ki Jai. Jai to Dandava pranams to all the devotees who are tuning in ki Jai. Tunga Rasa Didi ki Jai in Norway. Krishna Mohini Didi in Spain. Bimal Krishna Prabhu in Utah, is it? Or USA, somewhere in USA. And Krishna Nandini Didi in Ireland. And all the other devotees there, I forget the names, ki Jai, because we see that they're tuning in. Jai, have a wonderful day, in an auspicious beginning of our day, in Krishna consciousness. Jai Srila Gurudev ki Jai.